Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down.
Natalie.
Angela? Are you there?
How you doing? I'm here. Is this thing on? Tap, tap, tap.
Hey.
Hi. It is just wonderful to be here with you today.
Oh my
How are
God,
you?
Likewise. I've missed you. You've been gone.
I know. I was
I've
gone.
been gone.
You were gone. Yep. We've both been gone. We wore our own butts out doing stuff,
I tell
doing
you
fun
what.
stuff.
Oof.
I know. And I was up in the mountains this last weekend, and it was amazing.
I was
so
in
amazing.
mosh pits for 2 days. So we were on different wavelengths.
Right.
I was a groupie for my brother, which not mad
band.
about, but
Tell everybody what the band was.
everyone asked about you. It's a emo punk band.
Cool.
Collins plays guitar. It's super fun.
Yeah.
We went to New York to see their shows in Brooklyn. They played in Boston first, and then they went to Brooklyn. Anyway, it was super fun. Mosh pits are intense, and the first night was sold out, and we were in the mosh pit, and it was fine.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, but Lauren my sister is this tiny little thing. So I am like, you know how I get. So like,
Yes.
I'm like, my arms are around her like a prom photo protective shell.
Yes.
Because I'm like, because everyone's running into her. I'm like, I will kill you. I mean, you know how I get. So
yeah.
It was all fine. And I was keeping my cool. And then this kid, it was all ages. So this kid jumps on the stage, which is one step up because we're all right there in this venue. And he gets on the stage and he jumps off the stage to jump into a mosh pit and lands on Lauren's neck.
Oh my gosh.
Pardon my language, but my adrenaline was up, and I actually picked him up off her neck by his grundle and threw him into the crowd so he could continue his journey off of my sister's neck. Okay.
What is a grundle like your area between your butt and your bees? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Man, Natalie,
one-handed,
I
lifted him up. And I love that I get to tell the story given what we're going to talk about today.
That was just coming
Call
into
me
my
Joe
mind.
Pesci.
I was like,
I don't know.
I guess Brooklyn brings it out of you because you were, in fact, kind of a good fella.
I mean, I'm a wise guy. What are you going to do?
I don't know. Everybody, welcome to the podcast. In case you didn't know already, hello, everybody. Hello, all of the listeners. Today, we are talking about Goodfellas from 1990, directed by Martin Scorsese. As everybody knows, and if you have not seen Goodfellas, I pity you. I don't know what's going on with you. I'm so
sorry. Your
life
is not complete.
Your life is just not complete.
Especially if you've watched The Departed or Casino or The Sopranos.
Yes.
You know how we feel about that.
Right. And we're going to talk about that for just a second after. But first, let me introduce this. So it's based on a book by Henry Hill, who wrote it with another man whose name is Nicholas Pileggi. And it's based on his time as a basic like gangster living in Brooklyn, New York. And he basically was not a member of the mafia, but he was definitely a gangster working with mafia, with like the crime family. And it's just about his life and how he got started and his adventures and his heists and his crimes and his woman and their women. And I mean, how do you?
So
turns out, and then his eventual flip. He flipped for the FBI.
Yes. Yep. He was Irish Italian.
Yes.
Which means you can never be a made man.
Right.
You can only
Exactly.
be made if you're 100% Italian, because they want to be able to trace your exact roots and like where exactly you come from Italy.
Yes.
Straight up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
he
So
was Irish
this
Italian.
is
So he's just a mob. He's just a gangster. He's just a
just a
Goodfellas. He's a
gangster.
wise guy. And
He's a
so
wise guy.
is, we'll go with the cast, and then we'll get into like,
Yeah.
Bob De Niro was also Irish Italian. He couldn't be. Anyway, so you go
Right.
ahead.
Yeah. So basically, this is based on a true story, though. People need to know
Yes.
this is based on a true story.
Yes. Henry Hill.
And it's Henry Hill, and so it's based on his book. So if you people who are listening have not seen this, I'm sorry to say there's going to be spoilers, but I don't know what to tell you. Okay. So starring a cast that I can't even deal. It's Ray Liotta as the main character, Henry Hill.
I say Ray Liotta.
Liotta? Liotta. I think it is Liotta. Liotta. You say
you say
Liotta.
Liotta and I say Liotta. Go ahead.
Paul Sorvino plays Paulie Cicero. Oh man. Robert De Niro plays Jimmy Conway, who is Jimmy the gent, right? Joe Pesci plays Tommy DeVito. Lorraine Bracco plays Karen, his wife, Henry Hill's wife. Who else am I forgetting? There's a lot of other people, supporting actors in this, but two of the ones that stand out for me are Michael Imperioli has a nice little cameo as
Christopher
as Spider
from The Sopranos.
Debbie Mazar plays
always love her. Plays one of Ray Liotta's girlfriends.
Yes,
but Frank Vincent is a name that we need to mention, because he plays Billy Batts, who's like very like at the turning point in this. Essentially, one of the many climactic moments involves like Billy Batts, and he was also so. Most of the cast is also in The Sopranos. It's safe to say that the majority of these people, like, Lorraine Bracco is the Tony Soprano's therapist.
Yes,
and Frank Vincent was like the guy. He was one of the New York mafia guys at the very end of the series, who's like a huge player in this show. And then, then we got Christopher. Okay,
Christopher.
Yeah. And I mean, the whole Sopranos series, like when you watch this movie, you're like, oh my God, there's so many,
Yes.
As is, because it's like accurate with the life of the mafia. So anyway.
Right. Yes. And I just want to start off and say, I don't know why we're so obsessed, but I am so obsessed with mafia stuff.
Always.
What do you think? Like, I listen to stuff, but what do you think it is? I think I have my opinion, but I want to hear your opinion. Why do you think we're obsessed?
I think I'm obsessed because it's like an illegal government almost, and there are hierarchies and there are ranks, and they protect each other and they get away with things. They pay like people like in the government off, and it's so intriguing because they lure people with money, and or they also just have this je ne sais quoi, if you will. They like get away with whatever they want. They can do whatever they want. And I think that's so fascinating as to like, whether it's murder, stealing, or just drug dealing, or I mean, these husbands have these wives at times often, and they can do, these guys rule everything, and they do anything they want to do. But the way they have to respect certain ranks in the mafia is fascinating. The way that they like the code of not snitching is fascinating to me.
Yes.
The flipping to become informants is fascinating to me. How easily it is to get killed is fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And like it's like eggshells all the time, but they would never want to live any other way.
But the reason that's fascinating is because it's unbelievable, because I could never imagine living a life like that. Like,
I don't know.
Really? You think you could be a mafia wife?
No, I'm not a mafia wife.
I mean, you're a girlfriend?
I'd be maid. No.
Oh, excuse me.
Don't get it twisted. I'm not just like a side chick. Hello.
I'm so sorry. You'd be like Natalie Balls.
I'd be Natalie like Ray Liotta.
But what would your nickname be? Nat the Hat or something?
Nat the Hat.
No.
I think my name would have to be excluded because my name's just too dainty. I think it would have to be like, boss bitch, killer,
Okay. Oh,
don't mess
Spike.
with. Oh, I don't hate Spike.
Yeah, Spike. Your
Natalie
mafia name
O'Malley.
is. Okay, all right.
What's your deal with the mafia?
Mine's gonna be Angie B. No matter what, like I'm Angie B.
No
who wants
doubt.
to know?
Oh, no doubt.
It's always Angie B. Who wants to know?
Would you
And especially
flip?
when I married Frank, it was Angie
Longino.
Longino. Who wants to know? No. So why I'm fascinated by them is because I'm fascinated by psychopaths, and these people are all freaking psychopaths. Like
charming ones, but yes,
they get there. I mean, there is charming, and then there's just massive violence, and you're just like, how do they get away with this? And
because
nobody.
They're protected.
I know, but it's crazy because it like flies right in the face of justice.
I know,
like what we
and I
think
love
is
that. That's my favorite. They really
like,
stick it to the man.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Like we think we live in a world where like people will get their due. And
well, yeah, but like I feel like the mafia, I feel that serial killers think they're smarter than police. And some of them are, sure, more or less, but they also want to get caught very often.
True.
I think that the mafia is smarter than police.
Yeah.
And don't get caught that often.
A lot of the time.
I mean,
yeah.
Honestly,
I know.
Unless they want their families to be swimming with the fishes, I honestly tell you what, sis, I think it's less common.
And there's a big part of this where let's go into the movie a little bit. So Ray Liotta starts off and he's narrating, and I have never heard such a wonderful, conversational, fabulous storytelling narrative ever. I mean, it is so dang good. Like the opening credits come on, they're so good. The red letters like sliding across the screen. The story starts with Ray Liotta, Henry Hill saying, being a gangster was better than being president of the United States. And then you're just instantly sucked in and you're just like, wow. And he starts telling his story about how he, grew up in the neighborhood in Brooklyn and he started, doing some little jobs for people and working in a meat store. And the next thing you know, he's doing little stuff and he's
just always wanted to be a gangster.
Fire. Always wanted to be a gangster.
His dad was not a gangster. He wanted
his dad was not
a wise guy. He wanted to be a good fellow.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah. And it just goes through his life and everything. And so I don't think, rather than like recapping the whole entire freaking movie, because we would be here all day. The movie is 2 hours and 26 minutes.
It'd be like a Ken Burns documentary because I could really go on and on. I have so many thoughts. Like I love this movie. No, for 2 hours. I mean, part 6.
The Copacabana scene. Yes.
I mean, there could be a whole 2-hour episode just based on Joe Pesci's character, Tommy DeVito. I mean, even
my God,
you have to lead the direction here because I feel like I can start stuttering and just go. I need you to keep this structured because I can't stay structured with this movie because I just keep veering off and have all this. Excuse me, these thoughts.
Speaking of that word, the F word. You had some trivia about this. The F word is used. It used to have the It used to. Well, we know it was something like it used to have the record for the most F words in a movie.
Yeah, until it did forever, and it also was known as the best gangster movie ever made. Yeah, but Wolf of Wall Street, another Martin Scorsese movie, has now beat Goodfellas in that with the F word number of F words.
Yeah. Well,
which we're also going to talk about sometime. Okay.
All right. So let's just talk about our favorite scenes. I think I'm going to talk about my favorite characters first.
Okay, let's do favorite character
and then we'll talk about our favorite scenes. So I'm going to pick one male character and one female character, and I'm going to tell you why I love them.
Is there more than one female? Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. There's.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yep.
I mean, you could choose a lot of these women.
You're right.
Mean, the women. It's always the women. Even in Sopranos, it was for me the women because it was like, wow.
Well, it was Carmela.
Anyway, yeah, Carmela, right? Yeah. I know. So my favorite male character, it's really hard for me to figure out who my favorite male character is. I mean, Henry Hill is obviously
Is
everybody's
that
favorite.
yours? He's not mine.
But, oh, he's not yours? Okay, good. Because I was going to say, yeah, I mean, I think he is my favorite character just because I love hearing his story.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I love his laugh and I love his way of telling the story and just
He's very
how
charming.
he's charming and he keeps trying and he never gives up. And
No.
he's always kind of on the outside looking in. And so you have a little bit of empathy for him because you know that he's never really going to be made. And so he's trying really hard to be a good gangster, be a good wise guy.
He gets more evil. I mean, not evil. He gets more apathetic.
Yes.
But
You
he
mean
still
pathetic?
tries to, well, yeah, but he still tries to have sympathy at times. Like he tries to be the voice of reason in some situations, but it's not that. He doesn't try that hard because it's like there's no place for that.
Well, there's a part in this where there's a turning point where he starts dealing drugs. And Paul Sorvino, who's the head of the family, is like, if you keep doing this, I have to turn my back on you. Like, I know what you're doing and I have to turn my back on you and you can't do this. And of course, he keeps doing it. And that's turns into his downfall, selling the cocaine and getting involved with the cocaine. Mm-hmm. It's cocaine, Dewey. And so
you don't want no part of this, Dewey.
Exactly.
Turns all your bad feelings into good ones. All right, go ahead.
Sorry, everybody. That's from another movie. If you know what that movie is, did you already gave it away? I was gonna say, if people know what movie that is, write into us and tell us. Yeah, it's Walk Hard. Never mind.
Sorry.
Challenge over. Okay. Anyway, I think he's my favorite male character. Yeah.
Okay.
And I just love how he devolves, and then he's like, "Oh man, I'm screwed. I'm just gonna have to give him up."
Yeah.
You feel kind of bad for him.
I don't. I just made me disgusted.
Oh, really?
I found him disgusting towards I thought he was charming and unfortunately very likable the whole time until he did the one thing that Jimmy Conway, Robert De Niro told him not to do. The cardinal rule is to not rat on your friends and always keep your mouth shut.
Yep.
Like, don't be a snitch.
I wrote that down.
And even though, and like what's so bizarre is like that ends up being the demise of Robert De Niro because Ray Liotta snitches on him. Okay.
Yep.
I have no sympathy for a snitch. I'll tell you that right now.
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. So, Ray Liotta lost all of my. You okay?
Sorry. I think I just got a little nervous when you said that because I'm like, whoa.
I know. I'm sure.
I'll make sure. Noted. No sympathy for a snitch. Sanderson.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness.
Got it.
Like, who likes a tattletale?
Nobody, but you know, if you're a serial killer, I'm going to turn you in.
He was only tattling for himself. He didn't tattle because he felt bad about his lifestyle. He didn't tattle because he did that to save his own ass. It had nothing to do with his character. So obviously, my favorite character.
Yes, I know who it is.
Obviously, is Joe Pesci as Tony DeVito.
I didn't think that was going to be it. I thought it was going to be De Niro. I really did. No. Okay.
De Niro is like wildly more of a supporting role in this movie than
he is.
I liked it though. I think I liked his character. I love his friendship with Joe Pesci. I love the Jimmy and Tommy relationship. There, you know, Tommy is this wild card, unpredictable, insane, although hilarious. Loves his mom, who is played by Martin Scorsese's mother, by the way.
Yes, I'm glad you brought that up.
And a lot of Joe Pesci's, like a lot of his scenes were completely improv. Like, and Martin Scorsese would write that into the script because they would rehearse and it would all be improv.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. So even the scene where he's like, you know, you think I'm funny?
Uh-huh.
And it's like kind of scary scene. He's like giving Ray Liotta shit because he's telling this funny story, which Joe Pesci tells the story about an officer that he actually heard someone tell the story in real life about like saying, I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, it's this whole scene and you're not sure if he's actually going to, because he's a wild card and he just like kills people and he like does this stuff. Like he reacts. He's very emotional and reactionary.
Yes.
So you don't know if he's going to turn on Ray Liotta and they're friends. Right. Like it's him, Joe Pesci, Ray Liotta, and Robert De Niro. They're like a group. Like they do everything. They do all their stuff together. So you think he's going to turn on him, but it's not. It's like he's just funny. And he is this funny guy. And I think that,
but he's also a psychopath.
Oh, he's a complete psychopath. There is a scene.
So I can understand why you love him then. Yeah, I got it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, no, you know what I mean. Like, it's just funny that your favorite guy is a psychopath.
Well,
are those new glasses? Those are so cute.
No, I've worn them like multiple times. Thank you.
Sorry,
You're trying to divert me from calling me a psychopath?
Okay. I'm trying to divert you from the fact that you were offended that I said that would be your favorite guy.
I wasn't really offended. No, because he was. I found him the most entertaining in this movie. I think he did an amazing job. He won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor. Yeah. And his acceptance speech, he went up there and said, "Thank you," and walked off. Even that, I just love Joe Pesci. But this movie, he is like the absolute core of this movie, and this movie isn't even about him. It's about Henry Hill, but he absolutely made this. Everybody wanted to know what Tommy was doing. What's going to happen to Tommy? He is so crazy, and he like kills Billy Batts, who is a made man who used to be over Tommy, Joe Pesci, and he was teasing him at the bar. You know, he's like, "You used to shine my shoes," and he's just teasing him too hard. And Joe Pesci's like, "That's enough. You're doing this in front of my friends," and blah blah blah. And Billy Batts is like, "Just relax. I'm just joking." And then he says, "But go get your shine box," like because he used to shine his shoes. And that really set Tommy off. And this is the point of no return. This is a scene in the movie that was the point of no return.
Yes,
for absolutely. Joe Pesci's character, because
everything's
Joe Pesci leaves, he comes back. Bob De Niro is like their relationship. Robert De Niro is like the biggest Tommy enabler. He doesn't ever call him out
for sure.
Rarely, he does sometimes, but like he still takes his side. Mm-hmm. And when this made man, and Robert De Niro's not a made man because he's Irish Italian, right?
Right.
He's like, I was just kidding. He's like, well, you offended him a little bit, and that's like one of the lines. He's like, you crossed the line a little bit. So he was trying to defend Joe Pesci in a way that was respectful. But at the same time, I think he knew it was coming. And Joe Pesci comes back in and beats the living tar out of Billy Batts. And Robert De Niro helps him. Yes. So they kill a made man. Yes. And then Ray Liotta has to go dig the hole. They have to all dig the hole and go get rid of the body. But in the moment that Joe Pesci, Tommy, realizes that what he's done, that's the one time in this movie that you see an emotion in his face. Like he was scared. His eyes looked like he was like, I didn't want to get blood on the floor. And like he looks terrified, and he looks even like upset that he's like upset with himself a little bit in this movie, which is just a testament of how amazing Joe Pesci is, straight up.
Absolutely. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I also think that you have Joe Pesci vibes because of Home Alone. I mean, let's just not be.
I cannot discredit.
Right. You can't discredit that. Say that that's not true.
I can't say it. Can't say that's not true. But also my cousin Vinny. I mean, I also love my cousin Vinny.
Hello. Hi.
But I think him in this movie and in Casino.
I know.
He's my favorite in Casino also.
I know. Can't
Is he my favorite person? What's going on?
I think he's your favorite person. I think you want to marry him.
Oh, no. I don't want to marry him. Oh, he's not the person I want to marry. But I absolutely
but I definitely think you want to hang out with him.
I would love to hang out with him. I would love to go to one of his shows.
Tommy?
Yeah.
Does he do?
I don't want to hang out with Tommy. No.
Okay. Hey, everybody, do you know that Joe Pesci is also a singer? If you don't know that, you can go check it out. He's got records on Spotify, and you can listen to, and they're like really great. So his singing is great.
We listen to him, like my friends and I listen to him. Like I think we discovered this during COVID, and like while playing Uno or cards or something. Like I don't know how we found this out.
Yes,
but we did, and we listened to all of it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And I can't describe it, so you just have to listen to that on your own.
Exactly. There's no way to explain. We don't need to explain that. Don't explain. No. Yes. Okay. So now, do you have a favorite female character? It's okay if you don't.
Karen.
Well, obviously, Karen is mine too. So we're going to talk about Karen now for a second.
Thank you. Oh, and side note.
Yes.
Fun fact. Can I do a fun fact?
Of course.
So do you notice that how many Martin Scorsese movies do you think the song Gimme Shelter is played?
Oh, God.
Because also this soundtrack is one of my favorite soundtracks.
The soundtrack all of Martin Scorsese's soundtracks is insanely good. Yes, agreed.
I hear Gimme
Yeah.
Shelter, and like, when I saw this movie, it was one of the first Scorsese movies.
Yeah. It's just a shot away. If anybody doesn't know what song that
That's
is.
good.
Thank you.
But when I hear that, like, when I was watching it again, I was like, do I just have this stuck in my head because of Goodfellas? Or I know that this is in like The Departed and
Yes.
Casino. And I
Yeah.
checked, and it is.
Yes. It's because
in
it's
all
so
three of those
perfect.
movies.
That
And he has to have
that
a Bobby
song.
Darin song in all of the movies too. So it's just like, and like this had like the Crystals and like, all of this like
Yes.
oldies, really good. It's like a classic
Yes.
Scorsese soundtrack. But Gimme Shelter's in
Jerry
like
Vale.
3 of his movies.
I know. It's
He's
crazy. Well,
obsessed.
that song just really.
It's applicable to, they're all like mafia
Yeah.
movies, by the way.
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead with your
It's an
Karen
intense song, and these are. So let's talk about Karen. She's played by Lorraine Bracco, not Elaine. Lorraine Bracco, and she could not be any different than Dr. What's Her Butt in Sopranos. Like, this is the first time I've ever. Well, that's up for debate. But my favorite scene, and one of my favorite scenes, and they coincide, and it's when. So Ray Liotta and Lorraine Bracco get together. It's Henry and Karen. They finally get together. They're dating. They're not married yet. And she has like this guy across the street that is like hot to trot for her or something. And he tries to like mess her up. He tries to like obviously assault her or something.
Yeah.
And so she tells her boyfriend, Henry, that this has happened. And he, like a freaking bat out of hell, goes over there and like beats the crap out of this guy and like pistol whips him with his gun and damn near kills him, but doesn't. And then comes back across the street and hands Karen the gun. No? This is what happens. Right. Anybody who says chivalry is dead, well, no. I
Watch
don't think
Goodfellas.
So. Yeah, he comes over and he hands her the gun and says, "Hide this," because it's covered in blood, and he obviously used it to whip this guy. And then Karen's voiceover goes, "Look, I gotta admit the truth. It turned me on." And this scene is punctuated by the very next shot of them stepping on the glass and everyone going, "Mazel tov!"
Yeah,
because
she married him.
That was it. It was like, I think she knew from the moment she met him, the very second she met him, that he was not. Well, that other scene is my other favorite scene where they go to the Copacabana.
Oh, I love that scene. That's not my favorite Karen scene though. But I love where they go to the back entrance and they're listening to the Crystals. That's and Then He Kissed Me song is playing, and they go through the Copacabana and like A-list, knows the staff, and they pull up a table for them, and she feels like an A-list movie star.
But it's not even just that. I mean, they don't have a table there for them. They bring a table in. They make one and put it right in front at the Copacabana. And then she's wearing this most amazing black dress with this V back, with this like sheer shoulders. It's like this. Oh my God, the dress and her hair and everything is just so perfect. The costumes, the makeup, all that direction in this is just fantastic. Also, the scene is one camera shot following them all the way down this long hall, like one single shot scene, which is also amazing. But yes, she says, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I'm in construction." And she feels his hands and she goes, "You don't feel like you're in construction." And so from the beginning that she knows right off the bat that he is not. He's a gangster. She knows.
Yeah. Right.
And she doesn't care.
She cares. And then she doesn't care.
She's turned on by it.
So So my thing with Karen.
Yeah.
Was she already like the scenes with her and her parents, she's like has hissy fits. Was she already mentally ill, or did it just get that way because she was gaslit so much, or is it both? Yeah. Because
I think she was
gaslit. The scene where she pulls a gun on Ray Liotta, has a gun in his face. Because she knows he's having an affair, and like she knows, I mean, she's known forever, but she's had it.
Yep.
And it's like a long scene of her with the gun is cocked and ready to shoot him in the face, and he's actually scared. Yes. It's the only time. I mean, he's afraid.
Yes,
because he sees the crazy in her eye, and like really, really scary. And I just remember being like, I mean, this could be in my head. I'm like, oh my God, if she shoots him, like that's the end of his, he's like this huge gangster and he's going to get shot in the face by his wife who's mad at him for gaslighting her and lying about cheating. That's going to be his end. How amazing would that be?
But the brilliance of this movie, I know, the amazingness of this movie is that you don't know, because there's been so many capricious killings, so many random people getting shot for much less than what he's done.
For just like spending too much money, being too boisterous. Like people are getting murdered in this movie all over the place. It's like Game of Thrones. Don't get connected to any characters.
Right.
Because they're probably going to get killed.
Don't fall in love.
No.
Exactly.
Yeah, don't even connect. But I love that she doesn't do it because she's still, she says in her voiceover, because I was still so attracted to him.
I know.
I mean,
crazy, right?
Is it?
I know.
When you got the spark, you got the spark. Am I right?
I know. I
mean, they had the heat.
I mean,
but then like the whole entire movie, he gets mad.
I know. I guess there's just no way to wrap this whole entire thing up because we have to take a little tiny pit stop. And I do have one thing. And since Paul Sorvino is in this movie, I wanted to dedicate our pit stop to Paul Sorvino. And
he's also in Sopranos.
He's also in Sopranos. And so I just want to ask your opinion, Natalie. First of all, do you think Paul Sorvino is hot or not? Come on, be honest. Be honest. Those eyes, Natalie. That face, that smile.
I can't say 100% not.
Right? There's something about that guy.
He has like a quality that like, I just want to be like, would you protect me, but I don't want to kiss you, if that's okay? Like, I'll sit in your lap, but like...
Okay.
But not like that. Like, it'd be like visiting Santa.
Okay. So you think he's hot in like a Santa Claus kind of way?
I didn't say hot. I said he wasn't... He wasn't not... I can't say 100% that he's not.
Okay.
I did not say he was hot.
Okay. I think he's adorable.
That's what I'm saying. I just called him Santa.
I know, but I think I would kiss him.
And you were just giving me shit.
I was not giving you shit.
You were like, I said I'll sit in his lap. You go, oh, okay. And I was like Santa. like a
no, I thought you meant
person.
No, I thought you meant you'd sit in his lap.
Not like I'm trying to get an A in a class. Like
that's what I meant. That's what I thought.
No, not like that. Not like that. No, I don't want. No, I don't need him to give me.
No,
an A.
Not like nope. But yeah. So
you kiss him.
Okay, I'd kiss him. I'd straight up kiss him. I think he's adorable. He has the sweetest eyes. Also, maybe not in this movie, but if you go look at his, not that I've done this, but if you go look at his headshots.
No way. You obviously have gone to look at. How did you look at? You looked at his headshots. God, Angela. I just spit my drink over all my notes. I just spit my drink.
This man's got like serious charisma. He really, really does.
I'm not saying he doesn't have riz. Oh my God, I ruined all of my notes from spitting.
Oh no. All right. That's it. Well, anyway, we're going to wrap up this episode.
You didn't do the sound, though. You need to wrap up the pits up with at least the sound.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You just got lazy because Paul Sorvino kind of looks lazy, so you just must have gotten into that.
No, it's not that he looks lazy. I think I was just so mesmerized.
I think he looks lazy.
You think he looks like Santa?
Yeah.
Okay, Santa is not lazy, by the way.
He has elves that do all of his work.
Yeah, but he has to fly
and
through
reindeer.
the air.
Oh, really? He just sits on his ass and rides
down the
like
chimney.
A rickshaw all over the world. It's basically a rickshaw. And these reindeer are working their butts off, getting him where he needs to go so he can go get treats everywhere he goes. Okay? He's kind of a garbage person.
Okay. You heard
Merry
it here
Christmas.
first, ladies and gentlemen. Right. We should save. Are we going to save this for Christmas? Oh, boy. All right. Well, anyway, sorry about my laughing attack. But anyway, Paul Sorvino's hot. Okay. Moving on. Just want to say we're wrapping it up. Darren's given us the high sign to tell us to wrap her up. So I just want to say to you, namaste. Gazing into Paul Sorvino's eyes.
Namaste. Happy birthday, Darren.
Oh, happy birthday, Darren. Yay.
And namaste. Oh, I don't know. I had something, but it was
being a clown.
Namaste. You think I'm funny? Question mark.
I do,
but I'm not
going to
do the voice.
Yeah. You think I'm funny? Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm doing his acceptance speech. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.